Hey there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto, and here we are in the port of Yokohama. Taking a look here at this Alto Works RSR. This one here is the four-wheel drive version of the K car with the turbocharged 660cc engine. This car was bought from auction here in Japan. We're going to be exporting it to the USA. If you're interested in anything like that, please check out our website. There's a link to that in the description. And so four-wheel drive with a turbocharged engine and a tiny, tiny little hatchback. It doesn't look like it in the video. I mean, it's hard to scale things in the video, but this is about the same size as an original Austin Mini. This one's been modified probably around 100 horsepower up from the original 64. And so this video is going to be a post-purchase inspection video where we'll look at the condition of the vehicle. You can get a good idea about what type of vehicles that you can get here in Japan. So the engine is the F6A, transversely mounted 3-cylinder. Original turbo on it. This one has a few modifications, like an exhaust header here. Intake, which looks like it was recently changed. Suspension on it. This original intercooler. And the 64 horsepower that these originally come with, or 64 PS, is generally quite good and quick feeling on these cars. But a lot of these have been modified to around 100 horsepower, and that feels quite fast indeed for such a small car. Faster than basically any of the original Minis, except for maybe the Turbo ERA one, which nobody can buy anymore because they're too rare. Cool car. I'm going to look over the auction inspection sheet in just a sec. Before we do that, just turn the engine off. Four-wheel drive. It's a solid rear axle, front independent, and I haven't actually given the four-wheel drive one a drive before, but it is very cool to think that you know, it's like a little rally car, and I bet these would be pretty good as rally cars too, and would look incredible. Okay, so I'll go over the inspection sheet now. It's a 1992 Alto Works RSR four-wheel drive, auction grade 3.5, interior exterior C, but I'd say that they're being a little bit hard on it there. Mileage of the vehicle is unknown, which makes it a bit of a risk to buy, but the condition of this one looks to be in quite good shape, and so it's a risk that was a win in this case. And with a lot of these, the mileage is unknown because the odometer isn't large enough to show the 100,000s. And so when it gets up to 100,000, it rolls over. Take a look there. It just shows 8,994. And then it looks like the gauges have been changed as well because there's a history of this car having 130,000 kilometers. So we don't really know at all. Luckily, the F6A engines are reliable and the vehicle itself looks great. Everything, basically mechanics and looks of it. So it's a 5-speed manual. It's a 2-tone gold and navy, purchased from user. And in 2005, the car had 121 kilometers when it was at auction. So the whole body is in really good shape. The W means a repainted panel, so there's basically no scratches or dents. Looks like it's been painted recently. So mileage unknown car. The trunk of it has holes. Interior dirty. Headliner is coming down. That's weird. They're writing the same thing again about the screw holes in the bed section. Anyways, I'll show you that when we get to it. End panel dented, so that means it's backed into a curb or something. The end panel is right below the rear bumper. The exterior has various small scratches on it, dashboard glue marks. Power window switch doesn't work. It did for me when I was testing it, so no problems there, but the windows are a little bit slow, as old power windows tend to be. Rear wiper is removed. Aftermarket wheels. It says a 5-digit odometer car, so mileage is unknown. Various aftermarket parts and some parts of a roll bar. It says roll bar put in, but it really is only some parts of it. I'll show you here. Actually, I need to pop that, so I won't show you yet. Pop. We'll come back to the interior in a sec. Oh, and they put a cap on here for the rear wiper, and that's the original spoiler there. So you can see the roll bar pieces put in, but they just kind of end there. So you can use this as the beginnings of a roll bar, but for now it has no purpose at all other than adding you extra weight. And the speakers also, they're not boxed, and so you're not going to get much bass out of those aftermarket speakers. Inside here, no rust, no sitting water. Everything looks great. That's original paint. And then quite a big trunk. for the size of the vehicle. Much bigger than an original Mini, maybe twice or more. And then this folds flat if you want extra room, something the original Minis can't do. They're also quite a bit more reliable than the original Minis. Well, I love the old Minis, but yeah, reliability isn't their strong suit. So we'll do a quick once around here where you can see what the vehicle looks like from all sides. It has Watanabe wheels on it. They're not super aggressive. They're running the same 165 13s as was stock. Yep, good looking. It has a cool little plaque right there. I'll read it when we get around to the other side. Very typical of Japanese companies that were obsessed with English during the 80s. Okay, the exhaust is shiny and nice. It sounds cool. Someone's coming to run me over. Don't run me over. Not in a fit. If I'm going out, please run me over in a nicer car. Alright. Twin Cam 12 intercooler turbo works. We offer ultimate works to those who really appreciate performance. Keep on moving, Suzuki. Alright, how cool are you? They've replaced the gaskets here for the side skirts, which is really nice to see. Nothing is bad on any of these gaskets. The window's kind of cool how it wraps over the top of the car there. Yeah, I really haven't had that much fun in the mountains in a car other than wait, that's putting it the wrong way. In a small car like this, you can have more fun than you think you can in the mountains. I'm going to pull that key out. So the door cards are original. They're warping a little bit here with a tiny bit of a crack. Cup holders have been installed in it because the car typically has no cup holders. And this is something cool. Japanese cars all have power windows for the most part, even on the kind of economy cars like this, which is something that that cars from North America and Europe didn't often have. The cheap spec ones didn't have the nice things like the power windows. Aftermarket seats put in. The original seats of these are pretty cool, but these aftermarket ones are nice and supportive. But I kind of wish that the driver's side one would go back a little bit further. Right now it's in the full back position. And you can adjust it or get different rails for it or customize your rails. But you can see here there's way too much room behind the seat, and then you kind of have to drive like a clown at the moment. Now luckily there is an aftermarket steering wheel that's smaller than normal, but I personally would like a bigger steering wheel, especially since there's no power steering in the car. So having no power steering gives you a nicer feeling, more feedback, but makes it more difficult to turn. There's your boost controller there. There's the gauges. And when you're in your driving position, you can't see your gauges, and so bigger steering wheel helps with that too. Something there that's like nonsense. I don't know what it is. I don't like that kind of stuff. The AC works. It has a Navi unit there. It has a customized hardware store box. Shifting is nice and tight, which is good. And yeah, that's basically everything for the interior here. Seats are both in good condition underneath. Missing this piece. I already mentioned it in the other video, but it is missing that piece. And how do we get into the back? Oh, mystery time. It has, that's weird, no reclining function. So your back seats are useless in this, but then likely not many people have been sitting in those back seats. And look what I found. Yes! It's one piece is broken, so that's probably why it's not on there. Fixed a car. Not even going to charge for that. It'll probably come off again. Okay, so cool little, I guess rally inspired, tiny little car. Sending this one to the USA. And yeah, much better condition than we usually see these, especially since it's now, 27 years old. Okay, so there it is. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, and have a nice day.